All right, it is time now once again for the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast. My name is Elias Melas, but you can call me Eli for short. And who is this incredible lady to my right?
Oh my. Well, I'm your incredible girlfriend, Dawn Ledgerwood.
You're absolutely fucking incredible.
Shut up, so are you.
Well, thank you.
Friendly banter.
You know I don't take compliments that well, baby. You know that.
No, you don't. And that actually is frustrating for a lot of us because you deserve them.
Are you going to teach me how to better accept compliments?
I'm going to attempt to.
You're going to attempt to. All right.
I don't know if it's possible, so I'm saying I'm going to attempt it.
I forgot to adjust your microphone during the show. Here we go. There we go. There we go. All right. Now we're all good. Welcome to episode number 20 of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast. Today we have a very special episode. We're going to get to that in just a few. But before we get to that, baby, as always, how's the past week been? It's been a crazy times 4, times 10, times a million. It's been a crazy week here at the GNA, right?
Well, yes. I will say it's been a long week. A lot of work this week being done. Fortunately, I didn't have very much going on with myself, so I just had a nice relaxing week where Eli did most of the work, but it was a lot of work. So yeah, it's been kind of an exhausting week, but we still spent some great time, great quality time, watched some good TV, had some nice meals together. So yeah, he did make time for that, which is very special for me.
Oh, absolutely. It's been a heck of a week. Anyway,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, you forgot to put your phone to silent, right?
I did. I apologize.
That's okay. That is okay. Yeah, it's been a heck of a week. We've had a lot going on here at the GNA, which is short for Genuine Networking Association. I'm the president and founder, and Don is the vice president of operations, second in charge, right alongside with me. We are a limited liability company that plans on becoming a nonprofit at some point down the road, hopefully sometime next year in 2026 or by 2027, we'll be able to become a 501c3 nonprofit here in the state of California. To be able to further help people because we love helping people, right, babe?
Of course.
Don and I, we have a purpose to help people. And we don't really like to charge people to help them because we believe that most help regarding personal development, self-improvement, self-help should be free. But we can't do it completely for free because we have to still pay our bills, right?
Yes, yeah, we do. So donations are very much accepted and welcomed.
Right. And if you would like to donate to support our organization, if you are on the YouTube end of things, you can actually hit the super thanks, regarding the video version. If you're watching us on the audio only podcast network, such as Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, your very favorite, baby. iHeartRadio, Amazon's Audible. We're there. We're also on YouTube Music. We're also on the rest of the unknown podcast networks. If you go in the description section, you'll see a link to, that particular episode's video on our main YouTube channel, GNA, Genuine Personal Development. You can go over there, subscribe, and bang the bell, select notifications if you want to, view it there and view our other content. While you're there, you can also go in the description and subscribe to our secondary live streaming channel, GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development. But throughout the description of wherever this podcast is at, you will see the links to our Cash App and PayPal. If you'd like to donate to support the organization grow, we would greatly appreciate that. Donations, again, are greatly appreciated, but they are not required. But one way or another, we're gonna find ways to fund the organization. We have not been funded yet. I've had many people email me offering me small business loans. I've been offered many small business loans, upwards of $3 million. I don't want to. That's something that I would never ever do, and I wouldn't want to put the organization, $3 million in the hole. We're gonna fund it on our own through the people that have been supporting us. And, we look forward to taking this to the next level, right, baby?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Anyway, anything else you want to talk about this past week, baby, that's happened before we get to this very, very special show this week?
No, I feel, like we said, you were working a lot. And I didn't have very many appointments this week. You had
one.
Well, I had one.
A follow-up to your, clavicle surgery.
Yeah, but I didn't have many, is what I'm saying. Usually, we're like doing doctor's appointments like at least 2 to 3 times a week. So
sometimes more.
Yeah. So it's nice to just have one. And I had my therapist on Monday, but she's we do it over the phone.
Right.
And so I was at the house for that. But yeah, like I said, we've had a pretty good week.
Mm-hmm.
We watched a really good movie on Netflix the other night. Super funny. I'll let you talk about the movie.
Oh, are you talking about Happy Gilmore 2?
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore 2, a Netflix production, was done quite well. If you haven't seen it, we highly recommend it. If you don't have Netflix, we are going to ask you.
You just got to get it.
We're going to ask you why you don't. A lot of people don't want to spend the money, but I mean, honestly, all these streaming services, they're, around $15 a month with no ads. Now, you can get them cheaper with ads, but we don't like ads.
I'm not patient enough for ads.
And not having ads saves you a lot of time, which in essence saves you the difference of, paying, for no ads.
Yeah.
So you've got to get Netflix if you don't have it, and watch Happy Gilmore 2, especially if you grew up watching the original. There was even a tribute to the late and great Bob Barker.
Yeah.
Remember when Bob Barker, beat the crap out of Happy Gilmore, played by Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what's interesting, babe, before we get into this amazing show here in a second. I actually made you aware of a song that was written and performed, written and performed by Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
The song technically is titled "Ode to My Car," but it's been referred to as "Piece of Shit Car."
Yeah, I hadn't heard of that. I was like, "What?" Like Adam Sandler
like,
did.
Have you heard of the song "Piece of Shit Car" or "Ode to My Car" by Adam Sandler? Because he used to sing and write his own stuff because he's a comedian. That's how he started.
Yeah.
Like back in the 90s.
Yeah, and I know he can sing, but I was like, when I heard the song, that's why I was like, that's not Adam Sandler.
Piece of shit car. I got a piece of shit car. That fucking pile of shit doesn't get me very far. It's a piece of shit. And he has backup singers.
Yeah.
Saying, it's a piece of shit. And then the backup singers towards the end, after he was saying that, his friends threw up in the back or whatever, right? The backup singers go, he'll never ever get the pussy.
Yeah, that was, I was listening and I was like, did they just say that? Like, it was crazy. I did not expect that at all.
Baby, is it true that you'll never get the pussy with a piece of shit car?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Baby, I think we all have started out with a piece of shit car. My first car was a piece of shit.
My first car, I wouldn't call it a piece of shit. It was used, but they bought it off of a lot. So, it was a little Ford Tempo.
Oh, Ford Tempo, not bad.
Kind of perfect for a high schooler, and since then, no, all of my cars have been good. And as far as the relationships I've been in, obviously my marriage, we had nice cars. My second relationship, he wasn't able to drive. And so he didn't have a car. Third relationship, he didn't own a car, but he had his license. So he had a roommate, his best friend. They just shared a car because he worked nights and whatever. So when him and I got together, he had to get a car. Well, we'd already established our relationship. So he didn't get the nicest car at first, but we just got what we needed. And then 2 years later, he bought the nice car he wanted. We were just in a jam at that point. And since then, all my cars have been great. They've just been targets for people on the road. I don't know if y'all have heard my story, but I had two different vehicles parked on the road back in Hollister where I lived. One was in front of my home and one was downtown for the farmer's market. But I'm sitting and having pizza downtown at the farmer's market, and at home I'm sitting in the house watching TV, and booms happen out there, and I go out there and it's like my car.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wasn't even driving.
Wow.
Yeah, that was crazy. So as far as cars, yes, I say initially, if you first meet a guy, it's no good, then that's not going to happen.
Right.
Yeah, but there are circumstances.
Do you want to hear my first car story real quick? I've shared it before a long time ago.
Yeah, great.
On some former YouTube channel. But my first car was, I think it was like an 84 Toyota Corolla. And it was a car that used to be my mother's car. It was given to me in high school, for getting my license. And the Toyota Corollas back then were nothing like the Corollas of the modern world. The Corollas in the modern world have more power. 4-cylinder cars have more power now than they did back in the early to mid 80s. This was a 4-cylinder, like box, 4-door Toyota Corolla, and it had 80 horsepower. That's not much at all. And, I was dating my high school sweetheart, and she lived in San Mateo, and we would drive back and forth up this hill on Highway 92 to get up to Highway 280 to come to the house when I would pick her up to hang out, etc. Right. And this thing would struggle to make it up the hill, and a lot of times it would overheat. I would have to floor it for it to go 55 miles per hour, maybe 60 max up the hill, and it would overheat to the point of where my high school sweetheart called that car the Crapola, like C-R-A-P, Crapola.
I can see that. Yeah.
I mean, that is the real definition of a piece of shit car. So, when I heard Adam Sandler's song in the late 90s, early 2000s, it reminded me of my first car. So apparently, that must have been the situation for Adam. I mean, he probably had a piece of shit car, and it didn't get him anywhere. It would break down and didn't attract the women. Now, let's be real, okay? If women like you, they're going to like you for who you are, not for your car. But back in those high school days, everyone is superficial, and everybody wants to have the coolest car. And the chicks look at the type of car the guy drives, And that was a situation back then. But yeah, I just wanted to share that story. Yeah, my high school sweetheart called my first car, the Crapola. And I would whine and complain to my parents, and I would beg them. I begged them back then to get me a different car. And eventually they helped me get a 77 Camaro. That one I did, have to pay for, and I was already working at that point. But it was much better than the Crapola. The problem is the 77 Camaro was very, very nasty on gas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bet.
But also back then, gas was 99 cents a gallon. So, and things were different back then. But anyway, so that's that. Adam Sandler, did great in Happy Gilmore too. And
that was so funny.
They even had Stephen A. Smith was on there too.
I
Stephen
know.
A. Smith. Don
That's
and I
my guy on News Nation. I like him.
Well, he runs the Stephen A. Smith podcast. He's also on ESPN. He does,
TNT
sports commentary.
Damn, he's on General Hospital too.
He's everywhere. Stephen A. Smith he's the fucking man. I mean, he is the man. He was in Happy Gilmore too. A lot of the originals. Or a lot of the original cast was in there, and they've all aged. But I think, Adam Sandler has aged gracefully. Sorry, I said it backwards. Adam Sandler has aged gracefully. Has a little bit of gray. I mean, if he fully colored his beard like I do, I think he would look exactly the same as he did 30 years ago.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He looks really good.
Yeah.
For his age.
He does.
I've always loved Adam Sandler movies.
He's hilarious.
He's hilarious. Yeah, I think my favorite, though, is Big Daddy. That is, I think, my favorite one of all of his.
Anger Management, Goose Fraba with Jack
Nicholson, yeah.
Right. So in the movie, Anger Management, it was Jack Nicholson starring with Adam Sandler and I believe it was Marissa Tomei.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. And then in Happy Gilmore, it was Jack Nicklaus, the golfer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nicholson and Nicholas. So, and wasn't Nicholas is still alive? Wasn't he in Happy Gilmore too?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then they had the CBS broadcaster Vern Lundquist. Everyone knows Vern Lundquist. He's done so many. He's done so much sports broadcasting. I believe it was for CBS. He's like the most conservative guy. And he went on, even Vern Lundquist, he's what, like 83, 84, 85, something like that. He was even going all ghetto.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It was just really funny to see these, let's give the millennials one. Okay. Old timers. It was really great to see these old timers just speak the modern millennial, lingo and slang, right, baby?
Oh yeah. It's always funny to see an older person do that. Like my mom said to me the other day, she's like, I'm just tired of all this woke shit. And I'm like, Mom, I
was surprised when your mom said that. You told me about that. I was surprised when she said that because, no disrespect, we love your mother, but you and I both have thought that your mom has been pretty woke. She's been pretty strong supporter of the feminist movement and feminist rights. But this took even you by surprise, her daughter.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that a fair assessment? No disrespect to your mom.
Oh, it's a fair assessment.
Fair assessment of your mother.
It's just like you just don't expect to hear certain things from your parents. Especially things that are prominent in other generations that are lower than theirs, They think that we're all idiots, but now they're speaking like us.
Well, and your mom, no disrespect, again, with respect, I say this, I've thought that she's a pretty big feminist, no disrespect. She's very strong for women's rights. And I get that. Some women display it more than others, but it took me by surprise because that showed me how reasonable and down to earth your mother is.
Yeah.
What a difference a year makes and we're going to talk more about that in the few, but what a difference a year makes regarding everything, huh, baby?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, You're the one who's interviewing me. So where do you
We haven't
want
even
to
started your interview yet, and I haven't even introduced the show yet. We're just doing our monologue.
Oh, well, yeah, then. I mean, I don't want to give too much away before we start the show.
Oh, a little sneak peek doesn't hurt, though, baby, right?
Okay, what do you want to know? You want to know a year ago?
Oh, no, we haven't even gotten into it yet.
Yeah, I know, but what are you asking me?
No. I was just saying what you said regarding your mother saying that this shit's even too woke for her.
Yeah.
It's too woke for a feminist or a radical feminist.
You know what, the way I would classify my mom, she's very traditional in the sense that she stands by her man and she knows, like, she knows that's where she wants to be, is where with her husband, raising her children and grandchildren now and all of that. That's always been a staple. But my mom has always, or also thought that it would be, it would be better if it was like dual income. And she really pushed that with my dad, but she waited until, me and my brothers, well, I was in high school. My brothers were in junior high. So, that's when she went back to work. And she wanted her independence. She wanted to contribute, and that satisfied her.
Right.
And so my dad allowing that.
Your dad allowed it, huh?
For that time period, that's how they were back then.
It was still a more traditional, period of time in our world, right? Where women were more the homemakers and the men were the breadwinners, right?
Yeah, and this also shows, I say allowed, but it didn't go down that way. But it also shows the progression in men accepting the new roles of women.
Did we really have a choice?
Did my dad? Or are you saying in general?
In general, baby.
Oh,
the answer is a big fat no.
No.
Come on, baby.
Okay,
baby, I'm
I'll
all
give
for
you
it,
no.
but come on, we got to make it fun, right?
Always. It's always fun with you, babe.
You know what she does? She criticizes me for having to stick up my ass and not having a sense of humor. When I have a sense of humor, then she criticizes me for having a shitty sense of humor. I can't win, so she wins every time. Go ahead.
Is that how you really feel?
No, it's a joke.
Okay.
I still can't even joke with my own one. Okay, I'm just going to be very plain and blah from this point on. Go ahead, baby.
No, I'm done. I don't know how much more you want me to say before we start. Our week was great. I'm great. I'm in pain still. It's almost as if the pain has gotten worse with the recovery. It just an aching pain right in the shoulder where they worked on it. So the rest of my body feels great.
Well, that's because they have to break it again so it can heal more properly. They have to,
You say that. It just makes me cringe thinking that they went in there and just broke my bone and shaved it down. And,
yeah.
I mean, it's cringy to think about, like, that's what they were doing.
But then it has to heal on its own. And until it heals, it's still broken. It's still going to be painful. But once it heals, that pain will be pretty much gone, right? For the most part. That's what the hope is, right? Yeah.
And it should not remain broken. I'm going to say should not. Because the way that they had done the surgery and the aftercare medications, I'm drinking a certain supplement that helps with bone growth, right, baby?
Yeah, it's called Juven, and it's made by the same company that makes Ensure, the Abbott company that makes Ensure. You have an Ensure Complete every single day. It has all the essential vitamins and minerals and all that in there, and it's 350 calories. In a 10-ounce form.
It tastes good.
And it tastes good, and it's helped her maintain her weight. Of course, Dawn's been eating better the last year or so, and we'll get more into that in a little bit. But this Juven is like an orange drink, and it helps, with bone strength and stuff like that. It's part of your healing recovery, and you've got a couple more left, and then you don't need to take those anymore.
Well, we'll ask him when we go next week.
We'll ask them.
Yeah.
But yeah, they gave you like
enough for 2 weeks.
Yeah, a week and a half or so. They gave you enough for like a week and a half or 2 weeks at the hospital included. That's great. Well, I'm sure the insurance paid for it, but we didn't have to pay for it. And all the Abbott products, they're not cheap because they're very, very quality and healthy products. But anyway, all right. Anything else before we get right to it here, baby?
No, sir.
All right. So episode number 20 of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast. The topic this week is the latest on Don's incredible journey. One more time. Episode number 20 of the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast is about the latest on Don's incredible journey. I felt it was important for episode number 20, which I'm going to consider a milestone. Baby, we've done 20 episodes in 20 weeks. 5 months. We've been doing the podcast for 5 months. High five to you, baby.
We might have to
do it with the other hand because I know, and I shouldn't even high five you because even the vibration could cause pain of the
turning.
Yeah, the other side that's healing. But I felt it was really important to interview Don. Is this a formal interview? You can call it formal. We'd like to do things a little more informal. We're a couple, and this show is about the both of us. But as always, the type of guy I am, I always, put my lady first and her name first. That's why it's called the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast, not the Eli and Don Take on the World podcast. But I wanted to give my lady the opportunity to pretty much talk about whatever she wants to talk about, to hopefully be willing to share a little bit about. She shared, on other shows on YouTube, but not on the podcast, and maybe a little bit on the podcast on previous episodes, but not in one shot. To share, how has the last year been like since, you turned your life around? Let's start here. Okay. Let's go back to September of 2024. We are coming up on the 1 year anniversary. It's now August. The day we're recording this show is Sunday, August 3rd, 2025. It'll be released throughout the entire podcast network on Wednesday, August 6th, 2025. We're now in August of 2025, 11 months later. Next month will be the 1 year anniversary that you really started turning things around. If you look back to where you were then and where you are now, this very moment, what is the difference? How much of a difference is there? Talk to us about it.
Oh,
yeah, the floor is yours. You can talk as long as you want.
No, I'm a whole new person. I'm completely different. Besides just the physical, just the gaining the weight and everything, I feel better. I feel stronger. My head is straight because I'm still not drinking. And that's remarkable for me. It really is. As you all know, I've struggled with alcohol, and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm owning it. And, it was a part of my life. I regret certain things I did while I was drinking. I don't necessarily regret everything, You
shouldn't have to.
No. I mean, you can go out and have fun, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
When I stopped drinking, that's when I saw the change in my nutrition. That's when I started to feel healthy. I was having a hard time eating and basically getting food down. And that's why I lost so much weight. After I actually started to be able to get solid foods down. I was like living on yogurt and ice cream, which still kind of am living on ice cream, but oh well.
Well, you like ice
I
cream as
love
a
ice
dessert,
cream.
but you still eat solid food now.
Oh, yeah. The only thing I would like to do more is cooking at home and having fresh vegetables.
Absolutely.
And I've been asking for a very long time. I'm hoping it can change soon. Please.
Of course, anything can change. I mean, we've had a lot going on. And, I try to be Superman. I'm not Superman. But I try to be. I try to get as much done each and every day. And now that, Dawn is recovering from surgery, she's not able to do a lot of heavy lifting or not able to do a whole lot. It's very painful for her, and this is a normal part of the recovery process, right, babe?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, he said 6 weeks of pain and not being able to lift anything more than 10
Right.
pounds. And, like I took a shower this morning and I'm able to get the right hand up and wash my hair, but it's just an instinct of your body to just move your limb and go where it should naturally go.
Right.
And that is the hardest thing, is just not using it. And you can, I don't know if y'all can see on my black shirt, but I have a black sling on. And that just helps keep my arm in place.
Yeah, it's low there, so they really can't. I mean, they could probably see.
If I just show like that. There we go. Is it in there?
Yeah, that's it.
Perfect. Okay. That was okay.
Oh, they can't see it towards the bottom right, but your name's in the front of it. So.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah.
anyway.
But anyways, with that, it is difficult for me to cook right now, so I do understand. But I have some recipes that don't require much, and so I'm hoping we can do those next week.
Absolutely. It's always better.
This dog is sitting like completely on the cushion, pushing me off.
Oh, so are you not able to lean back?
Oh no, I can't. I can't. I have to sit super straight because he's like right across my back.
Well, we can ask him to leave.
Oh yeah, Buster, do you mind leaving? That's not gonna happen. Oh.
I just tapped him on the fanny a little bit. You know what the fanny is, baby? Have you even? I know.
Sorry, guys.
Oh no.
He's tangled. Hold on. Just lift your leg, dog. Yeah.
All right. I think we are.
Little technical difficulties there with our dogs.
Yeah. Your headset wire. You can just lift it up and put it behind the chair. There we go. People on YouTube can see this, right? We're on the fly here. Anyway, go ahead, baby. It's all good.
Anyways, I just also wanted to let people know that do not follow us on YouTube. I know we talked about it last week with our dog being not feeling so well. We are pleased to announce that he's back to normal, running around,
100%
playing,
healthy.
Pooping, peeing, eating, everything. He's loving his life right now. So I'm pleased and happy to announce that for anybody who's been wondering.
The veterinarian, our new veterinarian, great man.
Don't say that.
I'm not going to say what you think I'm going to say. I've said it on YouTube and other videos, and I'm not going to say it here on the podcast because I'm just not going to say it.
Okay.
Are you keeping me in check, babe?
That's what that was. That's a check sound.
Anyway, it's all good.
Go on.
This is where you just say it is what it is. That's part of our new slogan here at the GNA. You know, we're running the "It Is What It Is" movement, and we're going to be putting out more promo material on that soon. But that's for another time. Our new veterinarian gave you a call. We got the test results a day before. He called you, and he basically said that for an old timer, your dog is in great shape. He's in perfect health.
Yeah, he called my baby an old timer.
Well, he's 9 years old for a dog.
That kind of like crushed my soul a little bit.
This is one of the most honest veterinarians, animal doctors that we met. He's a really cool, decent person. He's been doing it for 30 years, and he has great staff, a great assistant, and a great
a great location.
Let's call them. We're not going to say it because we don't want these people on YouTube to go insane. But it's a great location, and also, he has a lady at the front desk that does all the admin.
She's a kick in the ass.
She's a secretary, and but they call them admin assistants, administrative assistants nowadays. She's been working with him for like 20 plus years before they moved into this new location last year. And so, yeah, it was great news.
Yeah, I was just talking about great location as far as distance from our house.
Absolutely. It's like maybe
I
a
wasn't
mile and a
anything
half
like
away.
that out, just.
No, I know.
It's not too far. It's
mile and a half away.
Yeah, and it's in a good location in town, really easy to get into and get out of.
Easy to get in and out of.
Yeah, that's the best part.
Yeah. Well, the best thing, I think we mentioned this last week on the pod. I think we also mentioned this on the podcast. Well, we mentioned on the podcast last week because we had not gotten the results yet. We record on Sundays, and we didn't find out until Tuesday of last week. But we mentioned that we were worried. We were about to take the dog to the emergency pet hospital on a Saturday, and we showed up there, and our big dog Bochi took a big fat shit right on the front, in the front area walkway of the emergency pet hospital. And then we're like, oh man, we just saved at least $240, probably $1,000 plus. So,
right? I'm like, thank you.
But I mean, we were going to spend the money. If we had to. I mean, we love
of course,
the dogs.
Family is family.
They're like family. They're like kids to us, and both dogs mean a lot to Don and I. But Bochi means
he holds a special place in my heart because
he's an emotional support dog for Don.
Yeah, but never technically trained that way.
Well, but you can think of him in that way, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? You can think of things in any way you want. Right?
Yeah. No, I was just going to say that I got Bochi when I was single, and it was just him and I. So he holds a special place in my heart.
Right.
Buster was purchased for my ex, and it just so happened I didn't want to let Buster go. I would if he wanted to take him, but he didn't want to separate the boys. So, it all worked out for everybody. We're all happy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we've been taking care of both of the dogs, and they're doing very, very well. So, yeah, that was a great thing. We got great news regarding Bochi. And so, yeah, he's as healthy can be for a 9-year-old dog. 9 times 7. 1 dog year is 7 years, 63 years old. He's probably closer to 70 now. He's like, 9.5, right? Probably. But he still has the energy, like a puppy almost. So yeah, it's all good. We're going to do our very best to take care of them. And they're indoor dogs, so they're primarily inside. We do take them out every day, and, they get their exercise, and they have plenty of room to run around even inside. But yeah, they're mainly indoor, and that's going to help them, live longer. Growing up, I had a dog that was an outside dog. He was a half German Shepherd, half Temper Wolf, and we would only bring him in when the weather was severe. But he still ended up living to be 14 years old.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so he was hop, skipping, and jumping till about 12 and a half, and then at about 12 and a half, he started to slow down. Then he got arthritis, and at about 14, little past 14, maybe 14 and a half, my dad put him to sleep. But that was a long life.
Yeah, no, that was
a long life for, a dog.
Yeah. My last dog, Gordy, he was a golden retriever, and he got to 12.
Okay.
So yeah,
Did you put him to sleep?
we had to. Yeah,
Did he have arthritis?
he was getting just so sick. He was like, because I say like that is old, for dogs.
It is.
And so he had a thyroid problem, and he was just suffering from old age. And so things were shutting down, and it got to be too excruciating for me and my mom and my brother, because the dog was up at my mom and dad's house because they had a lot of land, and I was living in an apartment. So I'd travel back and forth to go see the dog, and then everybody loved him, and it was hard on the whole family. So, my dear sweet Gordy.
Yeah. So the dog is all good. So, going back to September of 2024, and now, like I said, it's 11 months later, the 1-year anniversary of, you really, starting to turn things around. That's coming out again next month. We've heard on other shows, you can mention it here if you'd like as well, but looking back during that time, knowing what you know now, would you have done things differently initially?
Starting at what point in my life?
You can go back as far as you want. At any point before, you had 3 cluster seizures on, I think it was September 24th, 2024. Yeah. I think that was the exact date or pretty close to it. And, you actually, the first time we didn't call 911 because your doctor, what do you call it?
Neurologist.
Neurologist. She said you don't have to call if it lasts less than 5 minutes. So we didn't call. And then you had a second seizure like 4 hours later. We called 911. We ended up, they ended up taking you right here to our local hospital in Redwood City, California, right down the street, which is great. Sequoia Hospital is literally less than a mile from here. We are so fortunate. We have a world-class hospital.
Yes, we do.
Like right next door. You went there, and then I went back home to take care of the dogs, and then you called me an hour later, and you said that they're going to release you.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember that, but yes.
Yeah. Well, I do. And they gave you a bag of IV, and then they released you. And I was really not happy about it, but you can't show that in the hospital. You get arrested. I don't do stupid shit like that. But I was like, oh boy. We came back home. And then 4 or 5 hours later, at night around 9 p.m. or so, you had a third seizure. I called 911 again, and then they took you to the hospital. And then the doctor that was on duty said, 3 seizures in one day, she's definitely getting admitted. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. You needed to be admitted.
Yeah.
You were 93 pounds back then. Well, let's talk about that. Well, before we get to that, we're talking about if you could do things differently before it led to this point. We're talking, we can go as far back as 5 or 10 years from that point.
Let's go back to like when they started. Okay.
What
the seizures.
Okay.
Okay. So
did they start like right when you and I got together, or you had already had them before?
I had one before, and that was in my late 30s. And that one was a medication that was prescribed that I had an interaction with. I became allergic to it. Mm-hmm. And it's on my list. And so...
Is that the sulfa and tramadol or whatever?
Yeah. It's all one of those, yeah. So anyways...
And now metronidazole, that might have given you the seizures too, because they had prescribed the same medication that prescribed the dog Bochi, some medications, it's interesting, are the same between humans and dogs.
Mm-hmm.
But go ahead.
No, all of them are really.
Oh, they probably, okay. Okay.
So,
I'm sure they have some special medications for dogs too, baby. But I mean, I guess.
yeah. Okay. Back to me.
Yeah. Back to you. It's your show.
Well, yeah, we'll get off on a different subject if we don't stay focused. So before that, regrets that I might have had is not listening to my body. I started when about, I would say 6 years ago, I was starting to lose the weight, and there were times I didn't feel right. I kind of felt off. And there was one time I was at work and I was on my lunch break, and we had started inventory at 5:30 in the morning, and I went on my lunch break and I decided to close my eyes, and then I didn't wake up for 2.5 hours, and I didn't know where I was. I didn't know, it didn't dawn on me that I was in my car.
It didn't dawn on me.
That I was in my car at work, It
didn't dawn on me.
And I went into work. I was like, why didn't any of you come check on me? And they're like, we did. We just couldn't wake you up. I'm like, why wouldn't you bang harder? I mean, you see me passed out in a car.
Right.
So I think something happened then. And then a few years later, I was driving to the hospital, and I had an incident that I don't remember from one place to another. And so that could have been something neurological, maybe not quite a full seizure, but like a little neurological, mistransmission there.
Yeah, it's a neurological disorder. Pretty much, right? Which is what you've been diagnosed with, is a neurological disorder.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And then when I had the first really bad one with you, which was the first one, because we didn't know about it.
Yeah, we were in Tahoe.
Yeah. Now I knew that elevation was going to affect my lungs because I'd had pneumonia very bad in 2014. The doctors told me to watch my elevation. So I'm telling him this, and he's like, no, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine.
I think what happened was, I think you wanted to try it out.
I kept saying, no, let's go, because I knew how bad you wanted to. But as I'm watching it elevate, you knew I was getting anxious because I would talk about it.
You were panicking. Yeah.
Oh, it wasn't smart right now. But sorry, guys. But so when we got up there, I don't even remember too much. I remember getting there. I remember getting out of the car, and we started walking. We met this wonderful, nice couple.
We were at the Tahoe River Legacy Trail, a newer trail. It's paved, cement, very beautiful. Runs right along the Truckee River, and a quarter of the mile of the way in, we saw this couple.
Mm-hmm. They were so nice.
Yeah.
They just little, chat and whatnot. And then we kept going. And Eli, I don't know if it was a look in my eye or what, but he just knew I was going to go down.
Well, what happened was, literally, I'd say 2 minutes once we passed the couple. So we were a quarter of a mile of the way in, and then 3/8 of a mile. So we went another 1/8 of a mile. And then you started to get wobbly. And I tried to catch you, and I didn't fully catch you because I didn't even notice that was happening to you. But I broke your fall to the point of where you didn't get injured, but you had fallen to the ground and you were foaming at the mouth. And honestly, I thought you were dying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I panicked. I screamed out, help, help, help. And the guy came and he's like, should I call 911? Yeah, call 911. And I was there I was like, Dawn, 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 Dawn. I didn't know she was having a seizure. But then she snapped out of it. And then I was like, I got to carry you off the trail. Now, she was walking, but I was holding her. The paramedics were waiting when we got off the trail. They wanted to take her to the hospital to get checked out. I wanted her to go to the hospital. She said no. She said no. We were in Sacramento for a couple of days, taking a weekend getaway. We ended up going back to the hotel, and she slept the rest of the day and night. And then I believe it was the next day we drove back. And I still didn't know what had happened. And I didn't know what had happened until it happened it almost happened a second time when we were going to walk at another trail in San Jose. And you were panicking again. And I'm like, okay, no, we're getting off this trail. And then you're like, no, let's go to the other side, maybe easier, shorter. We went to the other side because you were getting frustrated because you looked at it as something that you should be capable of doing, but you're saying to yourself, I should be able to do this, but why can't I? So you're pushing yourself, and you didn't even realize that this was a serious condition that had not been diagnosed. Your neurological disorder had not been diagnosed, and it is something that just came on. And from what I've learned about neurological disorder,
I think they also think some of the neurological damage came from lack of oxygen from when I was sick in the hospital.
In 2014, right?
Yeah, from before then, until they were able to regulate my oxygen. Because, when your brain doesn't get oxygen, then obviously you lose brain cells.
Correct.
And so that causes amnesia, basically. So it's a struggle. But, so, I mean, I know you're talking a lot because you lived it when I was out of it.
Right.
But now, so we'll get over that one. We almost had a second one. Then the third one happened here at the house, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you had one here at the house. And we've never even talked about this, but it's okay. We'll talk about it now. I think I had picked you up, or I think you ended up driving here, but you didn't remember how to get here. So you got to a certain area, and then I would come and drive you the rest of the way, or have you follow me. And we were I walked into the house first, and then you had some stuff to bring in. And, no, you walked into the house first.
Mm-hmm.
And then you were going down the stairs.
Yeah.
And you must have had a seizure because you fell down and you were bleeding. You had cut your lip or something.
My chin.
Your chin. And then
I was at the bottom of the stairs.
I took you to the hospital, and it might have been a seizure. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, because I don't remember prior to falling. I remember after at the hospital, but yeah. So like the fact that I couldn't remember is what is the indication it probably was a seizure.
Yeah.
And then we were pretty good for a little while. And then,
I mean, the seizures were happening. The seizures were happening, once every 4 to 6 months, 4 months or so. And you started off with 100 milligrams of lamotrigine medication. The seizures kept happening. So your doctor, and that's 100 milligrams twice daily. Then your doctor and your neuro doctor bumped you up to 150 milligrams, you're still having seizures. About a year ago, a little over a year ago, after the 3 cluster seizures, your neuro doctor bumped you up to 200 milligrams and you haven't had a seizure since.
Twice a day.
Twice a day. So, now, look, some people might argue and say the drinking played a part in it, possibly.
Oh, I will say definitely drinking played a part.
No. They did play a part in it, but it's not the only factor.
No. It's not the only factor. No.
Yeah.
I just don't want anybody to think that I'm not taking responsibility. And I know that did have. And that's why I'm saying what I said at the beginning. I wish I would have listened to my body more.
Yeah.
Because things were starting to go wrong. My friends were saying something is wrong. Like, because you're losing so much weight. And, if you think about it, my friends that I've had that I currently have that are very special, I've known them the last 12 to 15 years. And so they've seen me being at a normal weight, being a little overweight. So when they were starting to see the weights fall off, they knew I wasn't dieting. They knew nothing changed. They also knew that I didn't change the amount that I was drinking. And they kept encouraging me to go in to see different doctors, to get different lab work, because they were convinced that something was wrong. And they were right, but
yeah, and the thing is,
I got the wrong doctor.
Well, when you lived in Hollister, they don't have the same resources there or the same doctors there as they do in the bigger cities, like where we're at here. We're in Redwood City, California, and we've got Palo Alto Medical Foundation, a part of the Sutter Health Network, and they're the absolute best doctors on the planet. I mean, I'm sure you know how lucky you are to have these doctors, but your former doctor, based out of Hollister,
she was a whack job.
Yeah,
like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
We've talked about this on YouTube in the past, but for the podcast here today, your doctor in Hollister was very rude to you, and when we went to go see her, we were actually starting to move your stuff to where you're at here now with me. I mean, we were starting our move. This was about 2.5 years ago, and he's okay.
He's fine.
The dog's fine. He's just roaming around. And we went after your doctor. We went to get some sandwiches, and we went back to your place
to continue packing.
Huh?
We were packing.
We were packing, and you were in the kitchen. Next thing you know, you fell.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you slipped, but I didn't realize.
Because we were cleaning the floors and whatnot.
You had a seizure.
Mm-hmm.
You ended up at the local hospital. And so, I mean, just reliving this. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can really see that this really still affects me to this day, talking about this. Now, Don wants me to get over it, and I'll get over it.
It's not that I want him to get over it. It's just that I have to have him understand I don't remember that time.
Well,
it's
I do.
Traumatic for him, but I don't have any feeling about that time, so it's hard for me to relate.
Well, that's because the neurological disorder and having seizures, you lose that.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of situations that cause you to lose some memories and stuff like that.
Of course.
But yeah, no, I mean, that was happening, and I should have listened prior to even being in a relationship with Eli. I just unfortunately didn't have somebody in my life that cared enough about me to help me make the right changes. And I don't want to cry. Oof, oof.
There were times, and I think it's okay to talk about this now. There were times when you would drive here and you'd get disoriented and you might have had the onset of a seizure coming.
Yeah.
And what if that happened while you were driving? I mean,
well, I think one did.
Huh?
I think one did.
Well, yeah, that was down the road. We don't have to get into that. That was a different situation. But thank God you weren't on the freeway going 65 miles an hour having a seizure. I mean, that...
I'd be dead.
Probably.
Yeah, I probably would have killed another family.
Probably. I don't want to think about that, but and I didn't know all of this, and all those times where we would hang out, you'd come up here for the weekend, and then you would drive back. I would worry that, or is she going to make it home? I was... You have no idea. You people out there have no idea how much I was worried. And here's the thing, and I'm not trying to mention these people, but these idiots on YouTube that have been trolling and harassing and doing stupid shit to us for years. They were talking about this during that time. They were coming at you. They were coming at me. They were accusing me, saying, he's got to get Don the help and this and that. He's gonna kill Don and this and that. And what they didn't realize is this whole time, all I was doing was trying to save her. And not because, how do I say this the right way? I was trying to save her because I loved her. And I would save anyone, but I love this woman. And dealing with the bullshit backlash on YouTube, and then dealing with this realistically when none of them had a clue what was going on, it was extremely taxing on me, emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually.
My problem is that obviously you see a human in crisis, and what these people on YouTube do is they take that and then they clip it and they save it, and then they use it to pull you down from your most vulnerable time. And they use that against you forever. You never can live that down in their eyes.
Well, as long as they can get an audience and make money, they're going to keep doing it. They did it.
Oh,
they did it to me
and
for
it
6
gets
fucking
passed
years.
around. It gets passed around when one person slows down or has to slow down.
Yep.
Another one will start up. It's a revolving door of a bunch of idiots that don't know how to get off.
That don't know how to get off. Meaning get off of YouTube, not
get off the revolving door.
Right. Get off the revolving door on YouTube instead of jerking it. I get it.
Why'd you have to go there?
Because anytime...
Because you're a man and you have a penis?
Anytime somebody says get off, anyway.
Because you're a man with a penis.
Because Adam Sandler would be thinking the same thing too, right, baby?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would. So, and you like Adam Sandler, so you can't hold that against me.
Okay.
Oh, I can't give you a high five because...
Oh, here, you can give me a low five.
Low five. Okay. Low five. Amen.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead.
How far are we in?
We're at an hour and 3 minutes. So we got about 27 more minutes to go. We're good.
Okay, I can't. I have to go potty.
Oh, you do? Okay, hold on a second here. Let me go ahead and turn off the camera here. Dawn's going to step away for a couple of minutes, and she's going to go use the restroom. And while she does that, I want to remind you folks. Okay, hang on a second. Okay. I want to remind you folks that there are many ways that you can consume the Don Neal Take on the World podcast. If you are listening to us on the audio-only network, such as Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, my lady's favorite, iHeartRadio, Amazon's Audible, we're there too. Also, YouTube Music, and the rest of the unknown podcast networks. There's a ton of them. If you do a Google search for Don and Eli Take on the World podcast, you'll find them all. If you're listening to us audio only and you want to watch the video version of this same exact thing, except we add video to the audio, go below the description wherever you're at, and you'll see the link there to that particular episode's video on YouTube. That'll link you back also to our main YouTube channel, GNA, Genuine Personal Development. When you go there, make sure you subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications so you don't miss anything. Then also go below the description, a couple lines down, and you'll see a link to our secondary channel, which is our live streaming channel, GNA2, Genuine Live Personal Development, where, I go live, if not every day, almost every day. I do Walking with Purpose streams. I walk around 3 miles or so on average every day, and I broadcast live with my selfie stick and my headset microphone, and I engage the chat. We typically have a topic on those shows, but those shows are also open to people asking any questions regarding personal development, self-help, personal improvement. We talk about politics sometimes and how they affect us. We can talk about sports. We talk about whatever. That's a place where you can come and spend time with me on any given day. And I'd say out of the 365 days out of the year, I do a live stream, a live Walking with Purpose stream, 350 days. So, you'll catch me pretty much on any given day for the most part. And yeah, you can comment in the chat, and any questions you have, I would be happy to give you, my personal experience, my personal advice, and it may help you work through whatever you're struggling with, personally and professionally. Hold on a second.
Headphones.
All right. So are you good to be back on camera, baby?
Yeah, I'm always camera ready.
Okay. All right. Let's turn the camera back on.
All right.
All right. We are in sync.
Sorry.
Yeah. So, I was just sharing that these Walking with Purpose streams on YouTube are phenomenal. Yeah. Sometimes even Dawn will join me.
I'm looking forward to our next one.
Yeah, it's been about a month or so since Dawn was able to join me, or has been able to join me, because she was preparing for surgery, and now she can't do these until she heals. So it's going to be probably at least another month or two before she can do a Walking with Purpose stream with me. But yeah.
We're going to talk to the doctor. I'm sure the doctor is going to say that it's absolutely fine for me to do this. But Eli's going to have his own reasoning as to why it's too early.
Well, if the doctor clears you, I'm good with it, baby. Listen, these are the best doctors on the planet, the Palo Alto Medical Foundation, Sutter Health. A lot of them are Stanford doctors. They're the best doctors in the world. And let's continue from there.
Yeah.
Because you did not get the proper care in Hollister. It was not available. And at the same time, you didn't have someone in your life that was willing to help you, and family can only help you so much, especially when your family lives 100 plus miles away.
Mm-hmm.
And your family did try to help you many times, but you didn't let them. I mean, why don't you talk about that, if that's okay?
Yeah, that's okay. At first, everybody was fine. Everybody drank, life was good. As the years progressed, after my divorce, that's when things changed. And I didn't know what the hell was wrong with me. Why wouldn't he want to be married to me anymore? Was I unattractive? Was I too fat? Was I too stupid? I went through all the stupid words to describe how bad I could be, when that wasn't the case at all. That wasn't the case. I just didn't know at that time how to live and live on my own. And That's a huge regret.
Well, you didn't know how to cope
Being
with
by
this
myself.
kind of a loss. And I think everyone struggles coping with any type of loss. But
Well, it's
some
more.
people can handle it better than others, or they're able to work through it quicker than others, right, baby?
Yeah, but it's more than just that. Remember, I went from mom and dad's house, moving in with my husband or my fiance at the time. And so when he left, I had 2 kids. Still had never left or lived by myself. And so now I have these 2 kids and we're trying to figure everything out with the divorce and everything. And it's just complicated. And that's a boring story. Y'all don't want to hear that one.
I think people can put 2 and 2 together. You don't have to share it because it just would. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. And so when I didn't have the kids, when they were, on their dad's days and stuff like that, I kind of felt at the time like, well, those are my days off and I can do whatever I want. So if I want to sit at home and drink a bottle of wine, I'm going to do it because I have no responsibility today, But then it got to be an everyday thing, even when I had the kids. So you're asked about regrets. Yes. All of these things throughout my life have led me up to this day. And today, I have no regrets. I have absolutely no regrets. Do I think I could have done things differently?
That's the billion-dollar question. Yes.
Yes, I could have done things differently, but I don't regret because if it didn't happen, then I wouldn't be the person I am today.
You're saying you learned from it.
Exactly.
Amen. Low five.
Yeah.
I got to get used to that until your hand.
Yeah.
Until your shoulder recover.
Or like when you're on this side of me.
Yeah, I get really excited. I love high-fiving people.
You've been high-fiving people since you were born.
Oh, I was high-fiving in the womb. I was high-fiving my mama.
Actually, you were just high-fiving yourself.
That's true. Or high-fiving the stomach, right? Or whatever, right? Yeah. The placenta is the placenta?
Placenta is what is attached to the umbilical cord, which feeds the baby in utero.
Oh, okay. That's what the placenta is. I'm not a woman. I don't know what the hell the placenta is. I've just heard that before.
I just heard that word. I figured it had to do with babies.
I figured it had to be something in there that I could high five or something.
In that region, I know nothing.
Right,
yeah,
right.
I know nothing about it, but yeah, sounds good.
Right. We're also on YouTube where people just,
they all have foul, demonic.
They just say things that sometimes they don't know what they're talking about, but they try to make it seem like it's something they know about, right? Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so let's just, skip ahead to this relationship up to about a year ago when the seizures started. Like I said in the beginning, fabulous support from him.
A year ago is when the seizures, almost a year ago is when they ended, not started.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, ended. But I'm telling the whole audience and the whole world that if I did not meet this man, that I would have died. And I would have died alone. I lived alone with my dogs and I lived in a back house. So it's not like people would see my house. So yeah, and I don't ever fear that ever again. I don't. I know I have somebody that loves me enough to check on me, to make sure I feel okay and I don't need anything. And it's refreshing. It really is. And so that part of my life that has changed has been positive. It's been great. Pretty much 99% of everything that has been going on in the last year has been just 100 times different and better. I mean, yes, sobriety. I thought I'd never say it. It's very refreshing.
Can I jump in here for a second before you go to a different thing? Because I wanted to comment on something you said, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Because this just hearing you say that, you have to understand, it brings me back to that time. And I'm so grateful and thankful that you are still alive. You said that, if you hadn't met me, you would have died. Now, we don't know that for a fact, but you're highly assuming based on the road that you were going down and not getting the proper help, treatment, nutrition, medication, whatever, the whole thing, having the right support system, you're highly assuming that you wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
How do you think that made me feel back then? And how do you think that still makes me feel this very moment hearing you say that?
Well, I know it's traumatic. I think I didn't understand how traumatic words like that would be for him. I am used to a more statue-like kind of man that doesn't
that doesn't do shit.
Well, it doesn't show any emotion as far as like Eli literally looks into my eyes and tells me he loves me. And not a lot of guys can do that. Not a lot of women can do that. I mean, if you really feel it that deep, it's true.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Very traumatic, baby. Very traumatic, even to this very moment, hearing you say that. And look, I'm a strong guy, and yes, I'll be fine. But, I think more so, what really has affected me, emotionally, even to this day, is the fact that while you were going through all this, you were in a state where you didn't realize how it was affecting me. Is that a fair statement?
Fair.
Okay. And also these people on YouTube, they didn't realize what I was going through. No one realized it. And quite honestly, and I don't mean to be rude, I'm glad we're on better terms, and we're getting towards the end of the show, but I want to talk about a few more things, and we'll get into your family and all that briefly. But at that point, I didn't even think your parents and your family realized what I was going through, and all of this stuff. You had some issues with your daughter and stuff, and we haven't talked a lot about it, and that's being worked on, and things are heading in the right direction. And we kind of had mentioned a little bit about that.
There has been change there has been change in the relationship, but I am no longer sharing anything more than that.
And that's your choice. But before that, because it's in the context of what we're talking about here, my frustrations.
Sorry, I'm tangled. Go on.
I'm not going to lie. I don't know if I've ever told you this or not before. I was frustrated with you. Not because I didn't love you. I've always loved you. But because
I fought you.
You fought me.
Not physically.
No. She basically was fighting me and saying she's fine and she doesn't need the help or this and that, doesn't need these certain things, right? While at the same time, these people on YouTube were trying to tell me you got to get her into this and that, or she's going to die or whatever, right?
Oh, but they didn't care about me.
They didn't care. But the bottom line is, I was trying to do the right thing from the very beginning, and you were fighting me. I don't think the people on YouTube that were coming at me realized what I was going through. I don't think your family realized what I was going through, and that's why I've apologized to them, and we're good, even with your family. But I was frustrated because I didn't even think they realized what I was going through. Now, they know you. Your mother and father know their daughter.
Yeah.
But I don't think they realized how bad the medical situation was because they had never dealt with it. Your mother had never seen you have a seizure until you had one when we were at their place at the beginning of 2024, which was this was about 5 months or so before you had the 3 cluster seizures. We were at your parents' place, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, so it was Memorial Day weekend in 2024 when we were up there and I had a seizure. And it was at that point that they saw how scary it was for me. And scary for him. That's what I meant to say, is scary for him. My mother was scared to death, even though he probably didn't show it. My dad was scared to death. Eli was scared to death.
It was Monday, May 27, 2024. So we were looking at May, June, July, August, September, and you were in the hospital it was almost 4 months.
Yeah. And then I was in the hospital for 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, and remember, we were at your parents' place in the mountains, and they had one shitty hospital there that they didn't want you to go to,
which is now getting closed down thanks to Donald Trump.
Oh, is that what your mom said?
Yeah, all the cutbacks and all.
So where do they go if they have an emergency?
Oh, well, if they're gonna die, I guess they just have to die, or if they could make it, they can get an ambulance. And
so
there's. I told her, I said, "Oh no, you're gonna now be airlifted." There's
no hospital in Mariposa County.
No,
anywhere?
No.
So they got to go an hour away.
They got to go to Fresno or Merced.
But they do have paramedics and stuff.
Yeah, the paramedics are still there, but there's only so much paramedics can do, and I love me paramedics. I think they're incredible, but there's only so much they can do.
How expensive would an ambulance ride be an hour away?
Why?
I know that's a stupid question. Sorry, go ahead.
Why is everything about money?
No, I'm just saying it's ridiculous that they got rid of the hospital when it's just going to mess everything up.
Well, yeah, it is going to mess everything up.
Yeah.
And, but besides that, so yeah, we didn't have a place that we could go really. So we waited it out overnight and we left the next day.
Yeah. So you basically, what happened was, you were walking, we were having coffee with your family and
up on their patio.
On the patio. And we were walking back to the garage area where Don's family used to have a little apartment there for guests to stay at. And I was following Don around religiously. I've shared this story on YouTube in the past, but for the podcast people, this is all new. And as we got the apartment in the garage area from the patio of the main house where we were at,
300 feet?
400 feet. We got 3/4 of the way there. We were right by the wall, and I saw you start to waddle, and then I knew you were having a seizure. Because I'd experienced it so many times.
And you called out for my mom and dad.
I caught her. I was there. I was holding her. I laid her on the ground, on her back. It was supposed to be on the side. That I didn't know that. Now I know that. Yeah, and I basically told Dawn's doctor when we saw her the next time, and she goes, "You did the right thing." And she goes, "Yeah, technically it's supposed to be on the side, but you did the right thing. You laid her down gently, and you just were just there, right?" And I was so freaked out, I screamed, and your dad ran over, and then your mom came over. Your mom thought that you were dying, and that's what I thought the first time. When I saw it happen, when we first started dating, and we were up in the Sacramento area, and we went up in the hills to try to walk on the Tahoe River.
We just talked
Legacy
about
Trail.
that.
Huh?
We just talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So what I was saying is that your mother experienced the same thing.
Yes.
As I did, and then you ended up snapping out of it, and you were laying down and you slept, and then the next day we drove back, and then we got you to your doctors, and then I think at that point they had switched you from 100 milligrams to 150 milligrams of your anti-seizure medication, and then after the 3 cluster ones they increased you to 200. But sorry, did I say something wrong?
Oh, no, I just didn't want to go over that whole thing again because we'd already talked about that.
Oh, I know.
So, yeah, okay. So, yeah, that was horrible for my family. That was horrible for my mom and dad to witness. And, yeah, I could see how they both feel. And, my mom and Dad, they've been scared now even more that when they hear anything about me, like it goes right there for them.
You having that seizure on their property, them seeing it.
It was the best thing that could have ever happened.
Well, I wouldn't call any seizure the best thing that could ever happen, baby. But you're such a good sport.
I know, I try.
Baby, I know it's emotional, and look, I'm trying to keep myself from not losing it, because then you would call me a pussified man, and I don't want to hear you call me that.
Well, enough people call you that.
Sometimes when I cry like a little bitch, sometimes I'm sorry. I have my moments, right, of weakness.
I will call you out.
She calls me, a pussified, whatever.
Well, it's because you go on your soapbox all the time and say how women are emotional beings.
That's true. You know what? In life, you only get back what you put out.
Right?
I say it all the time, baby. In life, you only get back what you put out, right?
Yep.
Right. But the good thing about your parents seeing that seizure is now they got to get a feel for what I've been dealing with for the last
4 years in September.
At that point, it was the previous 2.5 years. We were together about 2.5 years at that point, maybe closer to almost 3. For the last 2+ years, they now saw what I've dealt with. And so, but then, we still had, it was 4 months after that incident where you had the 3 cluster seizures. And then, you were at Sequoia Hospital here in Redwood City for 14 days? What's that?
I don't know.
No, you were in there for 14 days.
Okay.
And then at that point, after that point, you were going to go to another treatment center, and because of insurance issues, we found one that you were able to do it online. And that was an amazing group of people, wasn't it?
Yes, they are. They are an amazing group of people.
Yeah, it was called like a virtual inpatient outpatient program. And I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm sorry. Am I taking your?
Well, I'm just confused on where this show is supposed to go.
This show is about how far you've come.
Yeah.
And you.
My question is, why did you need me here to tell that story?
Because it's your story.
But you've been telling the whole thing.
Well, the parts that you didn't remember, because...
Yeah, but and they get the point, is what I'm trying to say, is you're traumatizing yourself again right now, and you're getting yourself worked up.
No, I'm good. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm extremely proud of you.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
It's just that maybe with the exception of some of the people who listen to our podcast, everybody already knows this on YouTube. I thought we were going to kind of go over anything different.
Well, no, this is for podcast land. These are new people.
I know.
They don't know the backstory.
Okay, carry on.
They didn't know the backstory, baby.
I know. I'm saying with the exception of them.
Yeah.
So I'm saying you just don't need to go as much into detail.
No, you're right. And
I've told you before, you need to scale back. And I told you before the interview, let me speak for myself.
Absolutely. I'm sorry if I overspoke. I was just trying to fill in the blanks of stuff you say you didn't remember. I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, well, there are things that I do remember, and you've just skirted over all of that, thinking I was just unconscious, not knowing what the hell it was going on, and that actually is really offensive.
No, I never thought that.
Okay.
Why would I think that?
You want me to share my experience, right?
Yes, please. Please. We led up to where we're at today. Now,
Now I'm healthy and I'm happy.
Yeah.
I've gained weight. I have made giant leaps in my recovery of my mental health. I'm never ashamed to talk about that and some of the things that I might have done that were questionable when I didn't have my mental health in check. But you know what? I'm a strong enough woman that I can say I need help, and I go out and get that help. Whether that's with vitamins, therapy, medications, exercise, whatever. I cannot dwell on what I've done in the past, and neither should the rest of you. So if you made a mistake, you're ashamed of it. You know what? Be better. Own it. Own it. Say, yeah, I did it. I literally lost my shit at a birthday party, or I ruined, grandma's birthday or whatever.
Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
No, honey, that's Sandra got ran over by a reindeer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But where was I now?
Well, you were talking about you've come a long way. You've turned things around.
Yeah, and I was just basically trying to get across to people out there that we've all done things in the past that we regret,
Absolutely.
that we are ashamed of.
Yep.
But tell me what good does it do for you then to like tear somebody down when you know if somebody did that to you for your past mistakes, you would have problems. That's all I'm saying. It's just open your mind, open your heart, realize people deserve second chances. That is what I honestly think this show is about, is my second chance at life and what I did to make this journey and get to the place where I am today.
Right.
Where I can sit here and I can defend myself, like as you all have seen, but that does not mean that we're fighting. That does not mean that anything's wrong. This means it's two grown-ups having a conversation, expressing their own opinions. If you don't agree with me on anything, it's fine. And that's what we're here. We're discussing. We're being open. We're not robots just reading a script, That's what we are. We're real life.
Yeah, we're definitely not robots.
But you know what? You know what? I'll save that for later.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not gonna push you. I'm not gonna push you now.
Yeah. No, I'll just save it for when we're in our closing.
You and I have always been raw, on the fly, and real time. And it's always been about being transparent and open and honest, not just with each other, but with our audience and with the people out there, because we really want to serve as many people as possible and help as many people as possible turn their lives around, just like both Donna and I have. Now, I've been through some stuff, nowhere nearly as close to what Dawn has been through.
But I don't look at my life right now as being a mess. I've just lived. That's how I look at it. I've lived.
It was all a learning experience. Is what you're saying, right?
But carry on.
Yeah, so it was all a learning experience, and it was one hell of a learning experience. And even for me, that's very experienced. Dawn and I are both very experienced. Even we learn new things every day. This whole situation with Dawn and her health, I didn't know about it when I first met her.
I didn't know about it.
She didn't even know about it, and it just came about. And I truly believe that people are put in certain people's lives for a reason. I believe I was put into her life for a reason. And I'm happy to be a part of her life and her family's life, and I love her dogs and everything. But yeah, we've always been about being straightforward and honest and as transparent as we can possibly be. Sometimes too transparent, too vulnerable, which I really don't think there's such a thing. But, people out here on the internet, they prey on your vulnerabilities and they try to exploit you and then, make money off of you. And it's really sad. But at the same time, I really want to get this message out there to help as many people as possible, because there are more people out there that are struggling with similar things that Don has struggled with, or even worse, right, babe?
Mm-hmm.
And you all deserve to have the support. And you may not have family, or maybe your family is just non-existent right now,
or maybe you've lost your family because they've passed away.
Right.
And you don't have somebody like that in your life,
One thing I want to focus on is helping even veterans. I see so many veterans here in Redwood City and the Bay Area, homeless, living under a building overhang, in between the crevice of a building, under an overhang, and they've got a cart or they've got a bunch of bags where they got a bunch of things in there. We saw somebody walking with no shoes yesterday across the railroad track, or it was a couple days ago, I think it was. It breaks my heart. I want to fund this organization to be able to help those people get off the street, get the medical care that they need.
Yeah, and that's where the donations come in, because when we get donations, we're able to set up this with a nonprofit organization to help them with, like he says, the veterans, the homelessness in general, animal rescue. That's an important one for me, is animal rescue.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things out there that need our help. And if we can all come together, we can all be a better world.
Yeah. And just to make it clear as well, this is what we do for a living. Yes, I have other income sources, and that's that, but this is also our job. So we do need to make enough money to pay our livelihood as well. And then the excess gets donated back to other people, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think you've had one hell of a turnaround, unlike anything I've ever seen. And
I appreciate you saying that.
And it proves to me that any person can turn their life around, no matter how bad they think it may be, or it may actually be bad, right? Anyone on the street can get off the street with the right support.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to focus more on supporting people and helping people and praising and uplifting people, instead of tearing people down on social media, because that's what gets the clicks and the views, and that's what gets the donations rolling in. It's really pathetic.
Well, who does it really help? Who does it help? What they're like with what they're doing?
Well, the only thing it helps is line their pocketbooks by stupid people that are donating to that kind of stupid content.
But that's what I'm saying. They don't help anybody.
No.
They
make matters worse.
Yes. And all they do is grift, and I don't care. It's like you could have a freaking stubbed toe and they're going to grift for that. I mean, you could have hiccuped and, oh my goodness, I need money for that.
Don and I had been exposing, and me even before I met Don, about almost 4 years ago, our 4-year anniversary is right around the corner. I've been exposing these stupid channels on YouTube that do these kinds of, things, right? And a lot of these channels they say, well, how can you accuse us of doing this when you do the same thing? No, I don't do the same thing as these drama channels do. I expose it. I call out the stupidity, and I say how much of a waste of time it is for anyone to be doing this. And the people that are creating this type of content and their audience, they need similar help as what Dawn has gotten.
Yeah.
Yet they're coming and criticizing myself, Dawn and myself, when we go through stuff and when she went through things, right? But look, Dawn got the help and she's turned her life around. And you motherfuckers out there, let's say on the YouTube end of things, because we're on YouTube and the podcast audio only network. To these motherfuckers on the YouTube end of things, what have you done in the last 6? I know a lot of these people I've known on YouTube for the last 6 to 8 years. And
they wouldn't talk. They wouldn't talk about how you haven't made any progress.
They haven't made any progress, but
they're still at the same place as well.
You're stuck in a fucking loop. You're stuck in an endless loop of shit, right? And a lot of these people, they're just stuck, and things are just going to continue to decline for them. A lot of these people have lost a lot of their audience, and they've just been declining with their mental health and their happiness. It's like down the toilet. It's going to keep declining until they do something about it to turn their lives around, just like you did. Until then, all they're going to keep doing is what I've always said they've done, is they're going to project onto us how they see themselves, right?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm on the same matter. Are we getting close to wrapping?
We're an hour and 41 minutes. Let's start wrapping.
Let me finish what I have to say.
Go ahead and finish what you're going to say, and then we're going to have thoughts.
So, yeah, I know we spent a lot of time on medical stuff, which has been my main thing about my life in the last 4 years. But there's been so much more other progress in building relationships with people, communication, and I'm a very big advocate for self-love and self-help. So if you feel as if you're panicking about something, or you have anxiety, or things are just not going your way and you don't understand it, you're like, why? I say seek some help. You can't just go and talk to your girlfriend or some guy friend, guys going and talking to their buddies, whatever. It's not the same thing. You want somebody that's going to be completely neutral and tell you how it is. And that's the only way you're going to learn, is just to get a little tough love, but have that tough love come with a solution, a process and a solution. Yep. And I'm smiling because it's like, that is something I was completely resistant to in life. And now,
absolutely, you were resistant to a lot of shit, baby. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
when we first met, and you still are.
Oh, I have my
but you've gotten better.
I have my opinions, but like I've said in the past, I have had many, or I've had a few relationships that have been very long term, where I've lived with those people. Eli, on the other hand, has never had just living with one person, like the way I have, I should say. Am I correct?
What do you mean?
Living with a girlfriend. Like, I'm the first one that's been the longest.
Well, you've been the longest, and this is definitely.
And it's been a change because, he's been primarily single. So his home is set in a way that he likes it. And when you bring another person in,
especially a chick,
they have their way if they want things.
Yep.
So then there's conflict. And then it's just, but you have to come together and compromise.
It is what it is. I mean, that's
what it is.
When as a man,
pick your effing battles, people.
That's when you say, as a man, look, you're going to fight an emotional being, or are you just going to say it is what it is? And I'll just say it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Amen.
mean, it comes down to just, Okay, so I'm going to get past me a little bit. I'm just going to say, the reason why I share my story is so that I can reach viewers out there, let them know that they're not alone in certain situations. Like we said, we don't like charging people. So, but if any of you need to reach out, please reach out to us. You can email us. We'd be happy to chat with you free of charge and discuss anything we would move forward with what we were doing with you. And that's just something we really want to grow with the GNA. And that's why we do share a lot of our real life with the world.
You can reach out to us. Email is in the description section of wherever you're watching or listening to this podcast. So is there anything else you want to say before we do final thoughts?
Well, the only thing I want to say.
Are these your final thoughts, or do you have one more thing before final thoughts?
Oh, no. I want to say great show. Mm-hmm. I appreciate everything you do for me and you have done for me. But what I have to say to the rest of you out there is if you, let's see. If you think I'm a clown, well, you're at my circus.
Wow. If you think I'm a clown, then you're
at my circus. You're watching me.
Yeah.
I'm the highlight of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So keep clowning.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's all I have to say.
Well, baby.
And much love to our viewers.
Yeah, much love to our viewers. My final thoughts. Very proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of you that you've turned things around.
Uh-huh.
And what I'm also very, very proud of you of is how you've learned to handle the court of public opinion on the internet, especially on YouTube.
Yeah. Sure.
You have impressed me lately with how you've been able to just let a lot of shit go. And before you couldn't. Before you just, either you would privately behind the scenes just get overly emotional, and then it would just drain me trying to help you calm down, and it would just wear me out, right?
Yeah.
Or if we did a public stream together, you would just go off on me on a public live stream, and then, I looked like a jackass, which maybe I deserve. Hold on, maybe I deserved to look like a jackass. Go ahead.
Yes, there are times when that has happened where I'm trying to call you out on things that I think you're doing that's ridiculous.
Okay.
And
there are a bunch of things I do that are ridiculous.
Well, and I'm just trying to be real with our audience,
yeah,
so that they don't think that we're fake.
No. I'm not denying that, but go ahead.
But as you all saw today, and you can't deny what you saw today, is that I didn't agree with how he was going about the show, and I just said, hey, I thought we were going to go this way and thought this was going to happen. Did we argue? Did I keep my mouth shut and wait to yell at him after? No. We discussed it like human adults with you guys.
I still think it was a great show, and I bet you
I think it was a great show.
The rest of the people will think it is too.
It's real life.
But what I want to say before we start to wrap this baby up here is that you have become incredibly strong as a public figure on YouTube. And when we first started doing this, remember, we didn't bring you on camera right away, and we didn't use your real name right away. And then once you moved in, we knew within 6 months, your name was going to be attached to, the same address where I'm at, and then people will just run a background check and see you as a known associate. And so, we brought you, we were going to bring you out publicly anyway, but we brought you out right around the same time where they would have figured it out on their own anyway, or they might have already done that by a background check. But
which in my opinion, is completely ridiculous and juvenile.
Yeah, I mean, there's a right and the wrong reason to do background checks. If you're trying to find someone to, serve them with a lawsuit where they wronged you, that's one thing. To, basically, dox someone or do something like that. People have accused me of doxing. I've never ever doxed anyone with malice intent. All I've done is defend myself, right? A lot of these people, they've doxed people just for content, just for the shock value or shock factor of fake instigated drama content. But you have become so strong, and it's almost comical right now that the people that used to come at you and used to be able to get to you don't get to you anymore. You've clapped back several times to these people that have come at you for years.
Mm-hmm.
Yet now
I laugh.
They can't take what they're dishing. They can't take a dose of their own medicine. And that, to me, shows me how much further you've progressed overall, not just with your health, but with who you are as a person.
Go ahead, say it. My attitude.
Your attitude, your attitude has gotten better.
I still got it,
You
though.
still have a shit attitude at times, and so do I. I mean, baby, that happens, right? But what I'm saying is, for the most part, you have made a very noticeable difference to the point of where now the people that were coming at you and triggering you can't get to you, and they're getting triggered at the fact that you flipped it on them.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the best way for me to end this show.
I've accepted who I am. I've accepted what I've done.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can say whatever the fuck you want to say. Oh, well, rolls off my fucking shoulder. It's actually like a fucking gnat you want to just brush away. That's all you people are. You really are not human. Like, you have no human, like, anything about you. If you were going to sit over there behind your computer and your keyboard and put somebody down who's going through a rough time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, you want to talk crap about somebody's alcoholism and the mistakes that they've made to what? Make them feel better? Or
it's to make themselves feel better, not only by tearing you down, but by also catering to their audience of Eli and Don haters that they created that will also pay them donations to talk about it. So it serves a dual purpose for these people. It satisfies them emotionally, temporarily, as a pacifier, and they also get paid to do it.
But the hypocrisy.
Then they feel like they've won, which they haven't. The hypocrisy is unreal.
It's unreal because tell me, how many of these people who were telling you to take me to rehab were sitting there with a fucking beer in their own hand?
Oh, a beer? They're drinking shots of whiskey. Whatever.
Well,
they're drinking fifths of the bottle.
Okay, I'm going to say one wasして drinking beer. The other one was drinking a bunch of like girly fairy drinks. And they weren't a girl. So yeah, those are two people I know of that wanted me to come take me to rehab. Are you going to come and take me with a freaking, tall boy in your hand? Go for it, buddy.
A lot of these people don't realize I was trying to get you to go to rehab for ages.
Dude, I'm Amy Winehouse. You know the rehab song?
No, baby, I'm not going to compare you to her.
Well, she's dead now, rest her soul.
That's why I'm not going to compare you to her.
But I'm just saying that, yeah, that song, Amy Winehouse, sober.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm proud of you. You've turned it around. I told people towards the end of 2024, you're going to see
a big change.
Excuse me, an amazing turnaround in Dawn in 2025. And they all thought I was full of shit.
Full of shit. People have even said that. They've said, "Oh, we thought you were blowing smoke up our ass, but you weren't."
Nope. And now it's just keep moving forward. Keep on keeping on, like you used to say, right, baby?
Yep. Keep on keeping on.
Keep on keeping on, right?
No, I'm not going to say the other thing.
What's that?
I was going to use another expression, but it didn't fit
No
what
worries.
we were saying.
Anyway, we are at 1 hour and 55 minutes. See, almost 2 hours. Anything else, baby, or should we start wrapping this baby up?
Oh, no. We can wrap up.
All right. Well, it's time to start wrapping this baby up. All right. You've been listening to the Don and Eli Take on the World podcast, episode number 20, which was the latest on Don's incredible journey. It was basically an interview on Dawn. And, for episode 20, we felt this was the right time to do it. I felt. She didn't ask because, that would come off
like
selfish,
last
right?
night.
That would come off selfish. But honestly, I wanted to do this for my lady because she deserves it. And I'm very grateful and thankful for you and feel very blessed to have you in my life. But, so, before we wrap it up, one more time, once again, if you're listening to us on the audio-only podcast network, we are on Apple, Spotify, Amazon Music, your very favorite baby,
iHeartRadio.
She says that with a smile and a blast
Every time.
And also we are on Amazon's Audible as well. They have dual platform, Amazon Music and Amazon Audible, and also YouTube Music and all the rest of the unknown podcast networks. If you're there and you'd like to watch the video version of whichever audio you're listening to right now, including this one, just go in the description. You'll see a link to the video there that'll take you back to our YouTube channel, GNA Genuine Personal Development. When you're there, subscribe, bang the bell, select all notifications so you don't miss anything. Then go below in the description and subscribe to GNA2 Genuine Live Personal Development. That's our live streaming channel where I go live, if not every day, almost every day, from walks and sometimes in the studio. And we have great topics and you can ask any questions. So make sure you subscribe, bang the bell, select all notifications there. With that being said, babes, time to go. Have a good one. Take care. And as always, be good to what, baby?
Each other.